Hello everyone, welcome to the solo edition of the Adrian Snary podcast. I decided to start doing a few of these as I like to be able to start getting more out, but things are a little bit more time restrictive these days. So in aid of getting content out, I thought I'll start doing some of my own stuff and just see how it goes. And when different subjects and topics that come up that I'm interested in feel like I'd like to share, then I'll just do that and see how it goes. So, today I really wanted to speak about the notion or idea of bringing it back to center. For me, so we have a little toddler, infant child, Layla, who's actually right next to me now. She's a special audience member today. And she's 3.5 months old, and it's fair to say life sort of becomes about the baby through necessity. Of course, it's a very important thing, and often the parents can forget about themselves, and not that there's a wrong or a right to that, it's just the way it is. And I've noticed within myself that I've probably gone too far in not looking after myself. So that all came to a head yesterday when I hurt my back, which for me is just always been just like a big no-no. Like always thought if I got to the stage where I ever got a sore back or hurt my back doing something, that I seriously need to do something. And coming from years, a couple of decades now of like really looking after my body, physical fitness being a huge priority for me, to sort of forego that it's my own thing. Like I've got no one else or anything else to blame for it. Yesterday was a real wake up call. So it reminded me though of that notion of bringing it back to center, like in any meditative process, especially when we, one of the big notions of meditation, one of the big misconceptions of meditation especially is that if you're not thinking, then that's the only way to go about meditation, that you're not supposed to think, that you're supposed to have a quiet mind. But that's not really it at all. Meditation is the act of bringing it back to center, so that if you have a distraction or a thought come up, that you're able to acknowledge it, be aware of it, and then bring it back to your breath. And that correlates for all aspects of life. And, whether it's relationships, family, friends, diet, exercise, etc. I think it's very difficult to always be on 24/7, and especially when there's different things in life that come up that can lead to distraction or require our attention. So I've decided to bring myself back to my physical center and restart my yoga practice and, just my general health and fitness, because, as the song goes, the body is greatest instrument we'll ever own. It's that infamous Baz Luhrmann song from, what was it, Wear Sunscreen? And it's just vitally important. So what are some ways we can do that? What are some ways we can bring ourselves back to center when we know, well, the first thing is to acknowledge that something's not quite right in our life. So if we've got like to use discernment to acknowledge that, hang on, there's a bit of resistance there or something not quite right, to acknowledge that and to breathe into it. Like just the breath is such an important aspect of this. Just breathing, like, okay, something's not where it should be, or should's the wrong word, but not where I would like it to be. Let's just take a moment with it. So, I mean, it can be two things. It can either require us to take that breath and have a bit of a inner look at it, or it's something external happens, or something happens physically or mentally, emotionally, like yesterday, my back. Whether it may be, just first acknowledge, whatever it may be, just first acknowledge that something's not quite right. I need to bring it back. So once we've done that, then we can really look into what it is that needs to be done. So, I'll just again use mine for example. I know that I need to start stretching again more. I need to get my core strength back up to where it used to be, should be, needs to be, and let it go from there. But there's certainly many other aspects of life where that holds true, and whether it's like business, again, relationships are a big one. And for anyone watching this who has children, especially, you'll know, there's your relationships with your loved ones change, especially with your nearest and dearest, and to take those moments, you may need to do it regularly, just to breathe it in. Where are we at? Okay, what needs to be brought back into this, and let's look at it from there. Distractions are a terrible thing, I mean, they might be good for a short-term reprieve from life in general, but if we keep distracting ourselves and moving away from who we hold as true, then it's not going to lead, or doesn't lead to, health and well-being, vitality, etc., creativity, all those, and love, all those important aspects of being a human being and experiencing this human thing. I'm just going to put Layla down a little bit because she's moving around and shaking the camera. We'll say hello first. Hey Layla, can I say hello to the camera? Hello. Hello. It's her first podcast experience. There you go. So it's about putting in the practice and actually doing it. But I'll leave that for another podcast. I think if there's something that you're feeling isn't quite right in your life, or that you're not feeling exactly where you should be, just take a moment, just reflect upon it, reflect upon where you've come from, what you've experienced, what you've learnt, what you've done in the past, and then see how that needs to be applied into this new dynamic of your life, because your life will always be changing, will always be evolving, always be new things happening. So how do you integrate that into your life? That's the formula, and that's the toughest part as well. How do you bring all those aspects of your past, all the good traits, all the bad traits, understand it, be aware of it, and correlate it into the present, into the now, to help us, all of us forward. So yeah, I think that's it. Any questions, please let me know. My new website is now up and running too, with all of my blogs, art, podcasts, and also have a course that I'm introducing and bringing out starting in May. It's called the Free Yourself Up series, and it's just about helping people and assisting people to get the most out of their creativity, let it really flow through, and to create a life that they want to create. And I'm really using a lot of the teachings that I've had over the last few years, and a lot of the things I've experienced that have helped me to do that. It's a constant day-by-day process. Don't get me wrong, there's no quick fix or easy solution to it, but it's I think I'm getting the wrap up, but it's something I'm really excited about, really feel really passionate about. So if you'd like to check it out, please look at the courses menu on my website, and we'll go from there. But yeah, many thanks, and we'll speak again next time. Bye.